Oh. Oh, you know what I have to do? Can you hear me? Is this working? Can you hear me now? Awesome. I sound like a Verizon commercial. Sorry to make you wait for a little bit. I was messing with trying to make the microphone and my cannula work, and I had to take off my sunglasses for it all to work. Anyway, welcome to the Unitarian Church of Los Alamos. I am Mimi, and I am the chair of the worship team, and I use she, her, or they, them pronouns. I'm a worship associate for our congregation, which I guess is a given. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever your image of the holy, wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here. If this is your first time with us, We'd love to get to know you. Please sign our guest book in the foyer out there at the little table. Tall table, I guess. You can also speak with our greeter, Mike McNaughton, wherever he is. Rebecca Howard, there. The chairperson of our membership committee. If you are joining us online, hello. Please sign our virtual guest book. The link is located in the notes below the video. You can also submit a virtual joy or sorrow to be read next week in our service. And to learn all about our spiritual enrichment program for all ages, please feel free to talk to Tara Louise, our Director of Lifespan Spiritual Enrichment. For the kids here in our service, hi kids. We have our activity table up front. We ask that kids use a whisper when talking, to talk when you're at the table. Kids can also stay seated with their parents if they want. Parents and kids can also sit in our library room to hear the service if they want. We also have a nursery We also have a nursery for young kiddos 0 to 3, and our nursery coordinator, Sarah Hamoud, would be happy to check your kids in. We have our Candles of Community area over here, and in the back, in front of the library window. You're invited to come up during the first hymn or now or any time before the prayer time to light a candle. And if you would also like to, you're welcome to write your joy or sorrow in the book that's over here at the front next to the candles. Today, our Reverend Tina Dio is on vacation, so we welcome Reverend Jenny Amstutz, who's also here, as our guest minister today. Reverend Jenny, this is not working. Reverend Jenny, I lost my place, was recently called to serve as the settled minister at Columbine UU Church, a small congregation in Littleton, Colorado, after serving as their contract minister since 2021. Before seminary, Reverend Jenny spent her young adult years building eco-villages in different parts of the U.S. and abroad, which is pretty cool. Now she lives near where she grew up with her husband and youngest of 3 of her 5 tween-teen young adult kids, and a menagerie of pets, including her very own real-life jet pig, Maisie. Hi, Maisie. And she brought another jet pig who's sitting here to give us support today. And that's what she looks like, big. So please go ahead and silence your cell phones this morning as we begin our worship service together. Go ahead, Tara. You want the clicker? Okay.
Good morning, beloveds. So this morning we have several announcements. The first one is that Camp Blue Boat starts tomorrow. Yay! And everyone is welcome. We have several schedules around. You can come in as adults, can come in anytime you're available you can meet us in Santa Fe too, I guess, but that we're here, you're welcome to stop by and check out what's going on and be part of the activities. So please check out the schedules on that. And then during Camp Blue Boat, we're going to have 2 different try-it fairs. And so if you have a special or an unusual food that you can bring to share, that would be awesome. We're going to be doing it at tea time on Wednesday at 3 p.m. and then again at the Ponderosa Campground at 3 p.m. on Friday. So think of fun things to share. And that will be at our all-church campout. Is going to be Thursday night and Friday night. We'll be at Ponderosa Campground. We'll be there for 3 days. So if you can only come for the day, that's okay. You can bring a pop-up, a camper, or just a tent, whatever works. And I'm excited we'll be able to have a fire because there's been enough rain. And also, if you're not coming camping, you can go to dinner out at the China Palace on Friday night at 5:30. And then next week on Sunday, there'll be a forum on hearing loss and cognitive decline. And then after that is the Earth Body Workshop run by Rulan, and I hope people can sign up for this. It's a really special opportunity to get to work with this very special artist. So she's coming to share her skills in a special workshop with us. And then we'll be having a booth at Pride on Friday from 3 to 7, and that's on Friday, June 13th. So if you're available and are able to help or be part of that, you're welcome to be part of the booth or just come to the fair. And then Patrick Webb is hosting the men's retreat, and that will be going on June 14th, and sign up is still open. Please sign up. And those are my announcements. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Not yet. Okay. You are now invited to greet your neighbor by introducing yourself or waving or saying yo. If you would prefer to wave and not shake hands, that is completely acceptable. I will call us back with a chime. Hi! Yeah, absolutely. Tina usually does. I just don't like, why am I lugging this around?
Good morning. My name, as you already know, is Reverend Jenny Amstutz, and I use she, they pronouns. I am so delighted to be with you all here this morning. I've preached virtually for Los Alamos during the pandemic, but and I've been to this building once, but I am here from Colorado despite car trouble and all kinds of obstacles, but my daughter, Cleana, and I are here and delighted to be with you this morning. At my church in Littleton, we did a series on the 6 shared values of Unitarian Universalism, our new democratically agreed upon covenant from last summer. And today I'm going to share with you about the value of interdependence. This morning, our call to worship and chalice lighting words come from a shaman and medicine man named Angel Deer. He calls it, "When the world feels heavy, let the land hold you."
Let us rise in body and or spirit for opening hymn number 126, Come Thou Fount. Supposed to be during that. I'll have her light the chalice right after. I forgot to have Nina come up and light the chalice during the wonderful reading, so she'll go ahead and do it now. Is the thing out? Make sure the wick is out. Apparently, the wick is being difficult. Go get that one from under there. Let's see if it works. See way down at the bottom. Let's see if this works. Thank you, Nina. Please remain standing for our affirmation. And oh, there. Love is the doctrine of this church, the quest for Could the young and young at heart go ahead and come join me at the front? And we're going to discuss some interdependent webs. As I drag my tube around, I recently, when I was directing a play that some of you were in, and I was working, someone said, "I know how to find Mimi, just follow the tube." Okay, guys, I'll hold this up so everyone can see. Do you all know what these are? What are they called? Dream catchers. And what do they look like? Spider webs? Yeah. Oh, that was interesting. String and jewels in the shape of a flower? Is that what you said? Okay, yeah, and they are meant to represent spider webs. And the purpose of a dream catcher, actually, is to help battle bad dreams. And so if you sleep at night with this over your bed, what is believed is that the bad dreams get caught in the web, and the good dreams go through the hole in the middle. And when the sun comes out and you wake up, all the bad dreams dissolve in the sun like dew on a spider web. I made this one for my dad for Christmas or something. And my friend Erica Muzzy made this one for me. Okay, I have a few more questions. I don't think people other than the kids will be able to see this, but I'll pass the pictures around later. Okay, do you know what this is? That's a spider web. And do you see how they look sort of similar? And what's something about spider webs, if they were really big and strong and wouldn't break, if you touched one part of the spider web over here, what would happen over here? It vibrates. That's how spiders know when there's something caught in their web, is because wherever they are on the web, when something gets caught in it, they can feel it wiggling around. But this is the sort of thing we all think of as spider webs, right? But there are other types of spider webs, like sometimes they call this a messy web. See? Isn't that interesting? This is also a spider web.
Is it a messy web?
It's a messy web. Here's another up close messy web. Still sticky. Stanky? Okay. What is this? You think it's a spider web zoomed in? Because it looks a lot like a messy. It looks a. It's whose hair after they get out of the pool? Ari's hair when she gets out of the pool. Okay. Okay, what this actually is I picked a lot of those pictures to show you what messy webs look like. This is actually the neurons, the neural net in a brain. And it does look like a messy web, doesn't it? And you know what happens in your brain when all your little things are firing and you're like learning new stuff or talking or whatever? It's not just one part of your brain that's doing all the work. It's not like one little neuron that's doing all the work. Everything in your brain is connected. And so, you know, even if if Elizabeth were to come rub my shoulder, which I really appreciate that she doesn't, I'm a little tactile defensive. I feel it there, but it's also registering in my brain, and I can feel it like in other parts of my body. Have you guys ever had a hug and it feels really, really good? No? Are you like me because you don't like hugs? Okay, but when you have a hug and it feels really, really good, it's because it's not just the hug, but all sorts of other stuff are happening in your brain and your body, and it's all connected to each other. Okay, how about these? What do those look like?
That's the galaxy net.
Actually, that's not. This is the internet.
What?
And this is mycorrhizae, or it's mycorrhiza. Nope. And so the internet looks a lot like, yeah, a firework or a messy spider web, right? Well, I mean, no, it's not. Look at it up close. It's got all the little filaments and stuff. And then this is called a mycorrhizal network, which looks a lot like all the other webs we've been looking at, right? What? Well, that's not everyone can, especially the people who can't see it.
Well, then how could that be a real picture of it?
I mean, the people sitting out here who can't see it. Actually, you can't necessarily see it. It's a model of it. Here is a real picture of, what does that look like? Does it also sort of look like the neurons and the messy webs? So this one's really interesting because it has all the tree roots that all intertwine and stuff, but on the tree roots interacting with the plant roots, and you can actually see the plant roots because they're the thicker sort of yellow things. But on all the white parts, it's called the mycorrhizal network. So they attach to the tree roots and all interact. And not only do they all interact, but they can go across an entire ecozone. And so this tree over here, basically, not in the way humans talk, but this tree communicates with this tree way over here.
By giving it certain molecules and stuff.
Yeah,
Doing different things.
exactly.
Like if you
Oh.
got
Yes, okay. What's this?
messy web,
Looks like it, doesn't it?
no
It-
fungi.
Yes, this is fungi, so the mycorrhizal network is made of fungus, and it's a fungi. What?
I think that's the roots.
No, that's all the fungus that makes up mycorrhizal networks. Okay? And I've now lost out of, okay, what's this?
The universe. The Milky Way.
It is the universe, but it's something very specific.
Is it the oil?
It's the rendering of the net of dark matter throughout the cosmos. No, it's this matter that we can't really see. But it's mostly known about because it's calculated. Do I have this right, John? Someone in this room knows whether or not I'm getting this accurate or not. But So see how it looks like a messy web or a neural net or the World Wide Web or what? Crumpled up tinfoil. That's true. Okay, William's been waiting for this one. What's this?
No, it's those are, each little dot is a galaxy. It's the web of galaxies.
It's called the cosmic web, which is clearly named after my little kitty cat Cosmos. Okay, so this is the cosmic web. Notice how much it looks like a messy spider web, or a neural net, or the World Wide Web, or... Am I making a point here? Okay, and I think that is the end of the pictures. So I'm going to let Elizabeth give this to all the adults to pass around so they can see all the interesting pictures. Or let Tara do it, maybe. Okay, so I'm not sure we're going to have time because that took a lot longer than I thought it would. But maybe we will, if we do it right after like everything's over, then we can make a ginormous dream catcher. And we can hang it somewhere here in the church. So I don't think we have time to do that now because that'll take a while, but let's make sure to meet up and everyone can join and help making the dream catcher, because after all, what kind of interdependent web is it if not everyone helps? No, actually it's called a dream catcher, because a dream catcher is a wooden hoop or a covered wood or a covered wire hoop with string in it. But that's just what a dream catcher is. It's what it's made of. It's called a dream catcher because it's a dream catcher. So I'm going to leave this stuff here for now, and everyone who wants to help make a giant dream catcher afterwards, I'll try to remember I'll bring it with us into fellowship hall. How's that? Everyone think that sounds good? Yes. Okay. And that is, I don't know, what are they doing today, Tara? You're staying here today. I am getting caught on things. Our offering for June is taken up on behalf of the Transgender Resource Center of New Mexico. The Transgender Resource Center supports transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming communities through direct services, education, and advocacy. Please feel free to use the QR code for the Givelify app on the screen. Thank you for sharing your monetary gifts this morning, and may what you give bring you joy. If I can get some people to help with the baskets, that'd be awesome. Go ahead, Tate. Thank you for your generosity this morning. May your gifts help the transgender community of New Mexico. During this time, you are invited to come up to our Candles of Community space, here or in the back, and if you haven't already, light a candle and write a joy or sorrow in our book, right next to the candles up here. Joys and sorrows that are written will then be read out loud. During this time, you can remain seated and join in singing our meditation song, number 134. Our world is one world. Verses 1 and 2. Just verses 1 and 2. Okay, we have a few joys and sorrows. Holding Amy, Aaron, Charlotte, and Walter in our hearts as they recently lost Amy's mother, Ursula. For those battling with terminal illness. And Happy Pride Month. I'm really excited about Pride Month. Really excited. And for all the joys and sorrows that are yet to be spoken and still are quiet in our hearts, let's remember those too. Oh, that's me. And so for today's reflection, it comes from The Heart of Buddha's Teachings by Thich Nhat Hanh. The anthem today is Air from Suite Number 3 in D major, and it'll be performed by Linus Plohr and Nylea Butler-Moore. Nylea Butler-Moore. Thank you, Nylea and Linus.
Excellent showing of interdependence between the two musicians. So Unitarian Universalists, as a whole, we don't talk about God very much, at least not in the church I serve in Colorado. The word God is a genuine trigger for some UUs, a cue that possibly they feel they may be subjected to someone else's idea of absolute knowledge of how things work. Many UUs are instantly on guard when someone says God because we're afraid to be judged if we don't believe the common story about the magical guy in the sky who casts judgment upon those who don't worship him. So it's no wonder we're a little touchy about the word God, especially now that Christian nationalism has threatened our democracy. We value our religious freedom and the unique way that we do religion. Rather than a shared story or creed, we cultivate a trust in each other to discover what each of us believes in our own hearts and minds. As UUs, we use our lived experience to guide our beliefs. I think everybody does that, actually, but we articulate that our lives teach us and help us to form our belief systems. We give weight to moments of inspiration, to feelings of wonder and awe, and we are open to learning from other religious and spiritual traditions. We keep our hearts and minds open to prophetic voices who guide and inspire us in our individual understanding of beloved mystery. Some of our preferred prophetic voices may be a bit unconventional. We love us some Brene Brown or St. Mary Oliver or even Michelle Obama. We listen to the wisdom of the Buddha, the Torah, the Quran, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, the Washington Post, a cereal box, a billboard, a song, or something we overheard in the grocery store. This open-hearted approach to spirituality sets Unitarian Universalism apart from many other religious traditions. We don't expect to know the ultimate objective truth, and we are content to accept that we don't know what happens when we die or the true nature of God or the universe. We trust in science and our shared values to guide us ever closer towards truth. This is what we call faith. Faith that we can use our hearts and our minds to discern what is important and meaningful and good and right. Unitarian Universalism opens us up to the possibility that the holy is everywhere, that it isn't just reserved for a few enlightened beings or ordained ministers or televangelists, but that truth is available to us all. One of our beloved UU songs by Peter Mayer says, "Everything is holy now." When we tune into the world around us and listen to the whispers of the universe in nature, in coincidences, in our perceptions and experiences, we begin to realize that everything is holy now. Our spiritual practices can help us to listen to those quiet stirrings in our heart and guide us sometimes even in a non-rational way. Reverend Wendy Williams at Jefferson Unitarian in Golden calls that the niggle inside of us, that little feeling. Do you know it? That feeling that calls us to stop and listen to our higher power or our inner wisdom. What if that's it? What if that is the holy? Unitarian Universalists do not seek to receive ultimate wisdom and truth from an outside source, from a religious leader or a deity in the sky. Instead, we look and listen and notice. We give credence to our lived experience, and each of us is invited to explore a wide range of ideas about how to speak of and consider beloved mystery. We know that we don't have to think alike to love alike. But we are not without a container. Unitarian Universalism is not a free-for-all. It's not a liberal social club. The seventh principle, and currently, which is our former covenant, and our current shared value of interdependence binds us together as a people of faith. No matter what each of our individual concepts of God or not God is, we agree that we are connected. We don't all agree what to call this energy that binds us, but we do agree to place value on interdependence. We believe that we are bound to each other, and this covenant binds us across a diversity of spiritual beliefs. Some of us UUs are staunch atheists. We use science and reason and experience to guide our beliefs. Atheists UUs may be intrigued by quantum physics and the mysteries that science has yet to discover, because as our Time for All Ages showed us today, there is plenty of mystery and interdependence in science. Even scientists don't understand completely the concepts of interdependence like quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is when particles become entangled. They become linked in a way that their properties are correlated even when separated by vast distance. Albert Einstein had a little term for quantum entanglement that I think is quite cute because it's like so vernacular. It's like, he called it spooky action at a distance. That's right, even Einstein called it spooky because it's really an awesome mystery. I asked AI what this all means, and it told me. I said, what does quantum entanglement mean for people? And AI said, quote, quantum entanglement may reveal how everything in the universe or multiple universes is connected to everything else through higher dimensions that our senses cannot comprehend. Science is an exploration of interdependence, and no matter what we each personally believe about the origins of life or the nature of mystery, we all agree, as UUs, that we are connected. It's one of the things that binds us together. It's in our flower of shared values, and it is a covenant that we can use to guide our actions and our relationships. Many UUs consider ourselves theists or agnostics. I call myself an agnostic theist, which means I know that I don't know, I believe in a higher power, and I'm open to the possibility that I'm wrong. As an agnostic theist, my faith in the divine is always open to revelation. Many people on the planet are Gnostic theists, which means they believe that their God exists for certain. A couple of years ago at my congregation, we were blessed to have an Episcopal priest, Reverend Alwyn Bledsoe, serve as our religious educator. When we made the decision to hire an Episcopal priest as our religious educator, there were people who were concerned. But we loved her, and it came to the point where on the first Sunday of each month, she would preach sermons, and often they centered around God's love. Now, most people at my church, Columbine, would never use those words, and it's kind of a miracle that everybody stayed to listen to Reverend Alwyn. But we trusted her to uphold our UU covenants that allow us to live in pluralism with respect. Because we trusted her, we didn't feel threatened by her beliefs, but instead we were inspired by her faith in a divine entity who holds each of us in great love. As far as I know, no one left Columbine and Reverend Alwyn's worship services as an Episcopalian, but we did leave them feeling intrigued and hopeful and held in love. There is a beauty and a freedom that we gain when we let our trust in our UU values and our covenants guide the way that we do religious community. In our pulpit at Columbine, just as I'm sure you have here, we have had voices from many spiritual traditions who come and share reflections with us. We've had speakers from the Colorado Sikh community, a rabbi, Buddhists, various Christian traditions, and humanists. We trust that even if somebody says the G word, we're okay. If somebody is an atheist, we're okay. If someone is a pagan or a Hindu or a polytheist, it's okay. We know that our speakers share our values and that our covenants will hold us in mutual respect. Our UU core values center on religious freedom, and therefore, you are safe here. No one here, including me, is going to tell you that we know for sure the nature of the universe, what happens when we die, or the one and only path to salvation, because we don't believe that anyone has a monopoly on those truths. As Unitarian Universalists, we are called to our own paths to discover truth and meaning through the textbook of our lives and our reason. We believe all people have access to truth, and that we're better off when we come together to play with theology. Our UU faith is an invitation to theological play. As we learn and grow and experience the world as evolving spiritual beings, we change our ideas about beloved mystery, about the spirit of life and love regularly. We are content to let the nature of interdependence remain undefined, undiscovered, and not fully revealed. No matter what flavor of UU or non-UU you are, no matter where you fall on the spectrum of atheist to theist to pantheist, our shared value of interdependence binds us in an acknowledgement of beloved mystery. The word beloved in front of the word mystery is not an accident. It is a testament to love at the center of our spiritual pursuit of truth and meaning, a shared understanding that we don't know everything, but we're open to discovering bits and pieces of the holy. It's a reminder of how little we know, and an acceptance of that it's okay that we don't know. I grew up in a Gnostic theist tradition, Catholicism, and letting go of the idea that my religion was objectively true was really hard for me, a little bit scary. But the more I learned, especially as a young college student, about philosophy, the more convinced I became that there are some things we just can't know for sure. When I was in college, one of my classmates, John, asked me something that I have never forgotten, and that's 35 years ago. He said, "Jenny, what if right now a giant hand in the sky rolled back the clouds and revealed a bearded old man who said in a big booming voice, 'Jenny, I am God.' Would that prove the existence of God? How would you know it wasn't the devil, or an optical illusion, or your mind playing tricks on you, or the Wizard of Oz?" But the truth is, even a giant hand and a booming voice and a bearded old guy do not prove that there is a God. Most of us Unitarian Universalists have come to terms with our belief that we can't prove if there is a God or the nature of that God. Instead of depending on our belief in a certain creed for our salvation, we have faith that by creating lives of truth and meaning grounded in our UU shared values, that is our way to salvation. We share a faith in the value of interdependence, and that opens us up to a whole range of ideas and possibilities and theological play. The good news of our faith is that we enjoy a religious freedom to explore. Now, the bad news is that freedom also allows us a wide spectrum of beliefs that is very difficult to summarize in an elevator speech. I went to a UU seminary, and I still stumble when somebody asks what we believe. It's nearly impossible to wrap these big, ever-changing ideas in a tidy bow and present them to the world with great certainty. But we can define our faith by our commitment to spiritual exploration, by our acceptance of mystery, of revelation yet to be unsealed, and something greater than the sum of the parts. Interdependence is also a call to action, an invitation to care about the least among us, because we know that we are connected to every person, every living being, even the ones we don't like. Interdependence calls us to serve and protect each other, to listen to each other, and to create an inclusive, equitable space for all. The world needs our inclusive and caring faith right now. May our covenant of interdependence be not only a source of comfort, of mystery, but also a call to keep putting love for others at the center. May it be a call to compassion and a call to hope. May it ground you in a call to seek justice for all. Blessed be, and may it be so. And now will you please stand in body or spirit as we sing our closing song, number 134, Our World is One World. I am connected to you, and you are connected to each other, and we are connected to people all over this planet, to the birds, the whales, the algae, and the plankton. May the mystery of the vastness of all that we don't understand hold you in reverence and awe and responsibility to care for each other and the world. Go in peace.